It's been a soggy few days across Atlantic Canada. Now, here's the good news for farmers. We're going to get a lot of dry weather into the next few days and plenty of sunshine because it's been a tough go for them over the last few days because the fields have been just a little bit too soggy from too much rain. Now, Burgeo has seen a lot of rain, at least 50 millimeters so far. Rainfall warning is still in place. We're seeing an additional 10 to 20 through the overnight, and the Avalon Peninsula picking up about 10 millimeters. Now, no rain in sight for southern Ontario or eastern Ontario tonight. We are seeing a few showers building around the Nicole Belt and Timmins, and tomorrow afternoon maybe some rumbles of thunder, but otherwise lots of sunshine heading into Saturday and the long weekend as well for Cottage Country, Toronto, Ottawa and Montreal, as well as humidex values too, which we'll talk about in your national forecast, and a snowfall warning in place for BC. Thanks for joining us. This is your national forecast. Now, the long weekend is just around the corner, so we'll touch on that forecast across the country. I'm Nicole Karkic. I'm in studio right now without Gary Archibald. He's live on location somewhere in the city of Toronto. We'll talk to him later coming up on the program, so stay tuned for that. First up, we head to southern Ontario, where in the last 2 days we've had dry weather. Now, yesterday and today were the coolest days that you're going to experience for the next 7 to 10 days. Can you imagine that? Today was gorgeous. We got up to 17 degrees in the city. It was dry, it was sunny. The UV index is starting to rise each and every day too. So are the humidex values. So you want to take care of your skin and stay well hydrated into the long weekend. Now, this high pressure is in place through the overnight across southern Ontario, through Cottage Country around Muskoka and Parry Sound. We actually have frost warnings in place because of the clear skies and cool temperatures. Now, overnight into tomorrow, we could be seeing a little bit of moisture around the Nicole Belt, Timmins and Kapuskasing, and by tomorrow afternoon, maybe even some rumbles of thunder. But generally speaking, Ontario is looking dry over the next few days. Heading into Saturday and Sunday, too, we're looking at really nice conditions. Now, it was perfect weather for any outdoor plans in the city of Toronto, and this is Division 53 officers holding their 6th annual charity barbecue at the corner of Yonge Street and Eglinton Avenue. The funds from this year's event will go to assist victims of crime through Victim Services Toronto. So a fun event, and it's always great when the weather works out for those outdoor plans, which sometimes are planned a year in advance. Now, outdoor plans are a go in these cities over the next few days. Note it's 26 degrees on Sunday in Toronto, feeling closer to 30, however, with the humidex. Moncton, New Brunswick, a little bit of rain yesterday into today. You saw about 16 millimeters of rainfall. Yarmouth picked up about 18 millimeters there. But the most rain in the east was really in Burgeo, where we've seen at least 50 millimeters of rain. And the rainfall warning still in place for an additional 10 to 20 millimeters. The Avalon Peninsula is seeing about 10 millimeters for you. Now, here are the frost warnings that we do have in place. Montreal not included, but the eastern townships are, as well as parts of New Brunswick around Edmundston, for an example. So a brisk overnight. Yesterday we had severe weather in Quebec City. That cold front has already pushed through. But what we did see was large-size hail. Environment Canada put out a preliminary report saying that gusts around Saint-Hubert were close to about 90 kilometers an hour, and that hail did reach in Montreal too about 1 to 2 centimeters in diameter. There's that cold front right now, and what we are seeing is continued rain through Burgeo with that warning in place, the Avalon Peninsula, but by Friday things are clearing out. We have lots of sunshine here through the Maritime provinces. We're seeing westerly winds, still a little bit breezy at times, but into the weekend, you know what? It's looking pretty good. Temperatures are even a little bit above seasonal, so just feast your eyes on this. I can hear those barbecues firing up already. Now we take you to the west, where we saw a little bit of snow. Fort Nelson has seen a few centimeters, and there's more on the way tonight. Calgary also saw a rain-snow mix earlier today, and you could see again that rain-snow mix in Calgary tonight. So a little bit of cool weather in the west. Here's that warning still in place, a few more centimeters overnight, and temperatures here at Calgary only 9 degrees for your Friday. Overnight tonight, it's going to feel closer to -1 with those wind chills. Now Friday afternoon, isolated severe thunderstorms in Winnipeg and rainfall on the way. Coming up in Weather Network news, an update on the wildfires across the prairies in Alberta.
This weather's
Hello, thanks for joining us. I'm Nicole Karkic. This is Weather Network News. Some pretty nice weather ahead in Ontario. People here already got a taste of what's to come over the Victoria Day holiday. Not a drop of rain Thursday and slightly below seasonal temperatures. That will only go up over the weekend. The humidex will make it feel like 30 degrees in some communities. The warm weather has some people thinking about taking the boat out for a spin. The OPP has launched a new campaign to remind people of the dangers of driving a boat while impaired. They're encouraging people to call 911 just as they would for a drunk driver. And also related to boater safety, not just this weekend, but anytime you want to hit the lake or the river. The Canadian Red Cross says Thursday was National Life Jacket Day. They say regardless of what kind of on-the-water activities you enjoy, life jackets are essential, and there are plenty of types to choose from. No need to worry about preparing for warm weather in northern BC. At least not for today. Parts of the north are actually under a snowfall warning. Fort St. John, as you can see here, already got a few centimeters late Wednesday. The snowfall warning is now in effect for the Fort Nelson area, which could get up to 10 centimeters overnight. The nearby Moonshoe Lake Park and Stone Mountain Park could see up to 20 centimeters into Friday morning. We'll keep an eye on that for you as things progress. Definitely not a very welcome sight for the middle of May. Now on Sunday, folks in East Asia and the southwestern United States will get the chance to see a pretty rare display. It's called an annual solar eclipse. The sun will appear as a thin blazing ring behind the moon as the two align. This is a pretty rare event. The last one to be visible in the U.S. was back in 1994. This time, the Ring of Fire, as it's called, will be visible in some parts of the southwestern U.S. The eclipse won't look quite that spectacular to Canadians, but it will be visible at least partially in some parts of the western provinces, depending on cloud cover. More of the sun will be covered the further west you go. Up to 80% of the sun will be eclipsed by the time it passes over Vancouver. Well, if you want more details on your local forecast to see what Sunday looks like where you live so that you can check out the solar eclipse, your local forecast details will come up every 10 minutes on the 10s. Also, in your national forecast, more details on where we have a thunderstorm risk tomorrow. It could be isolated severe, so stay tuned for those details as well.